Hi, I'm Laura from Meadowlark Violin, and welcome to my Song of the Month video lesson. You can download the free sheet music to this song on my website, and I'll put a link to that below. So this month's Song of the Month is a really beautiful collection of themes from Mahler's Symphony No. 1 from the third movement. Now I chose this song because it's kind of spooky and dark and mysterious, so it's perfect for October. And I've also got a link in the description to a great symphonic recording of this piece. It's absolutely beautiful. Give it a listen. I think you're going to really enjoy it and really look forward to learning all these great themes. So let's start off talking about the scale. So we're playing in D minor, and I've chosen a D harmonic minor scale as a warm-up. Now, if you're familiar with my scales course, you know that there's 3 types of minor scales. So the harmonic minor scale has a raised 7th scale degree, which means we have a C sharp in this scale. Now D minor has 1 flat, and that's B flat. So what that means is that on the A string, your first finger is going to be a half step lower than what you're probably normally used to. Now that's going to make it a really awkward stretch between the B flat and the C sharp in the scale. That's why I put a little bracket under the scale, because I want you to watch out for this big leap. It's going to feel like a really big stretch. If you can leave your first finger down and reach for that C sharp, because as you descend, you're going to need those fingers again. All right, let's play through the scale and arpeggio with the metronome at 55. 1, 2, ready, go. Now, one thing I want you to think about while you're playing the song is ringtones. The third fingers on the violin are particularly resonant, and when they're perfectly in tune, you're really going to hear them ring, and especially in this song, D minor is a very resonant key. So when you're playing your third fingers, they should have that ringing quality. You can even practice that by drawing your long bow, kind of whisking it off, and you should hear the violin continue to ring. If it doesn't ring, then you can kind of adjust your third finger, get it to where it's in that perfect sweet spot. Now let's talk about some tricky measures in the actual song. Now you'll notice it is pretty long, but there is a lot of repetition. So you'll notice the A part, that whole line, that's repeated several times. So the A part is the exact same as the C part, and it's the exact same as the E part. So there is a lot of repetition going on. So with the A part, there's not too many crazy things going on, just that finger pattern that might be a little different. So you're going to think low F naturals and that low 1. Look at measure 13. This one's slightly tricky. So it goes A to B flat, then A, G, F, E. And on the A string, you've got a low 1, but then when you get to the D string, you've got a normal 1. Anytime you're switching between these low ones and kind of the normal ones between strings, your tendency will be to be too low on the one that's normal or too high on the one that should be flat. So really kind of exaggerate that. Let's try just that measure. Okay. You can even do it without the slurs. That'll help you just hear the left-hand notes. Look at the B part. And the one thing I want to talk about here are those dots underneath some of the notes. You'll see there's up bows and then dots underneath those. What I want you to do for this is come off the string if you can. This is going to add a nice little flair to this part. So like this, here's measure 17. Do you see how I came off for that 1 F? And it really adds kind of some sparkle and a different sort of feeling to that piece. So what you want to do is practice it totally normal first. So don't add any bow lift. Do that until you're really comfortable with it. And then you can add in this part where you come off the string. And all I'm doing is for that up bow, I lift off, and that lets the note ring. And then what you want to do is really quick, come back to the string before you play that next note. So it's like this. It's kind of in slow motion, but you definitely want to be on the string before you play the next note so that you don't run into something like this. All right, so let me do that one again for you. This is measure 17. It's just a split second, but I land the bow really quick, close to the frog. That's the least bounciest place to make sure I'm on the string. Let's try the same thing with the next measure. This is measure 18. Okay, you see how I come off the string for the A, land on the D string really quick, and then draw that half note. The next measure, measure 19, we've got some extra things going on. So we've got a grace note on the third beat. And all you're going to do is kind of slur an A into a D really quickly. It's just like this. Okay? I just play the A really quick. It's almost like I started playing an A and realized that that's not the right note and slapped my third finger down really quick. That's basically all a grace note is. But I want you to come off the string for this one too. And if you are having trouble coming off the string with the other ones, I would focus on these first. These are a little bit easier because you do have a rest afterwards. So let's try just the grace note and let's try coming off the string. Do it a couple times. Now let's try practicing landing on the string. And it's okay if when you're practicing this, you get a really kind of loud noise right there. You can make that sound better later on, but I really want you to make sure you're on the string before you start the next note. So you can just practice that part again and again and again to get really comfortable coming off the string and then coming back down. So this is measure 19 and 20. We'll start on an up bow. And then we're back to the theme again for C. All right, looking ahead to D, this one's got some really fun things going on. So first off, on measure 30, if you can, I want you to add a little bit of vibrato on each of these B flats. Do you see how it's repeated 3 times, the B flat A? Anytime you have something repeated, you want to do something special with it. So definitely vibrate those B flats kind of like this. This is the pickup at measure 29. Do you see how I even add a little bit of emphasis with my bow? Da, 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 dum. You can try that. Don't even add any vibrato. Just try doing that with the bow, where you add a little more bow on those B flats. Like that. Now look at measure 30 and look at the 16th notes here. Here's where we've got our low B flat, really high C sharp, the same as we had in our D harmonic scale. So you want to practice this pretty slowly a couple times. If you can leave down your B flat, that'll be even better. Then add the slur. And I like to practice tricky spots like that by starting it really slow, and then you see how I gradually got faster and faster and faster. That's a great way to practice those. Moving on to measure 31, I start this one on an open A, then go down to that G sharp. Now do 4th finger. And the 16th notes do an open A, like that. For measure 32, I'm going to give you 2 options for fingerings. You can do the 4th finger on the E. If you're going to stay in first position, you do need to do that. Okay, but if you're kind of learning 3rd position, or if you want to try it out, I would shift here. So I would put a 1st finger on the G, second finger for the E on the A string, and then I would go back to first position for that next E after the rest. So like this. Like that. The next line, I want you to look at measure 36. This is the next little awkward one, but it's not too bad if you think through it. You're starting off with an E flat, which is a low 1. And I want you to kind of bar that finger, put it over the D string and the A string, because you're going to go E flat, A flat, same place on the A string, back to E flat, open D. While you're playing that open D, I want you to stretch and reach for the C sharp. Back to the theme. Okay? All right, now we're going to play through the song, and I'm going to count off. I'll count to 4, but I'm not actually going to say 4. I'm going to breathe in on the 4th beat, and that's how you'll know we're about to start. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. So I hope you enjoyed that song. It's a beautiful piece to play, and it's a lot of fun to play as a round or a duet. You can also visit my website, meadowlarkviolin.com, for lots of free violin resources. And please like this video and subscribe to my channel. That really helps me out. I'm Laura from Meadowlark Violin. Happy practicing.